This is the Ms.FitVegan podcast, episode 162. So I interviewed John Gray today. He is the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, as well as 27 other books. And he said something in the interview. He said so many things, but so many good things, but he said one thing that really stuck with me. He said, if you have a desire, a mission, a purpose, and you say you want to do it, the energy flows to you. The energy comes. And if you don't follow through, you suffer. Let me say it again, guys. If you have a desire and you say you want to do it, the energy comes to you, and if you don't do it, you suffer. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. You're in pain. You're suffering because you're afraid. You're afraid to do what you said you were going to do. And so, because you're afraid, you don't do it. The energy's there. You don't follow through. And you suffer. And you suffer with depression. And you suffer with sadness. And I suffer with loneliness. And, it's crazy because I never thought that I would be making podcasts about emotions. Because if anybody knows me in real life, then you would know that I spent most of my life ignoring emotions and saying that emotions make you weak. And my best friend Awa, I hope that she'll do a podcast with me soon so she can tell you what I was like for the past 15 years that she's known me, because I was not this person. I was against emotions. Emotions are fucking the enemy. Fuck that. And I would just work, discipline. And it served a purpose, but I also got really sick. And I also created a life that I didn't want. And I was suffering, and, I got into a relationship with someone who I had no business being in a relationship with, who was abusive, and literally we were not compatible at all. And, this quote, guys, this is powerful shit. I hope you understand what this quote is about. When you have a mission in life and you're not going for it, you're going to suffer. Yeah. You're not just going to suffer the pain of regret. You're going to suffer physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That's another thing we talked about, or I wanted to talk to John Gray about. Just to wrap that first part of the podcast up, you got to go for it, boo. You've got to go for it. And it's going to be scary as fuck. Okay? Like me, I had a great job in New York. I was making 6 figures to go to work teach people how to be vegan, teach people how to make smoothies and juices, and go home. And sometimes I worked an hour a day. Sometimes I worked 4 hours a day. What the fuck? What? But, that wasn't good for me, actually, because I need to work a lot. Too much idle time creates bad things in my life. I can't have too much free time, I have learned. I have to be busy. I have to be moving. I have to be physical. I have to be running. I have to do yoga. I have to be working physically. Too much sitting behind a computer, too much idle time, too much free time, and I'll find destructive things to do to my body, to my mental health, to my spirit. So anyway, sorry. I quit my job to move to the tropics. And when I say tropics, I'm talking about Miami. I'm not in Costa Rica yet. But hey, one day I might be doing this podcast from there. So I quit my job. It was a dream job. And I moved with no income. Like, I had savings. I was saving for a long time because I knew I was going eventually. I knew eventually I was going to make it out of New York. No healthy person should live in New York. It's not a place for healthy people. And so, so I moved here. Oh my God, I can't stop yawning now. Okay, sorry. I can't stop yawning now that I started, but I want to wrap this up real quick. Sorry. So I quit my job and I moved to Miami, and it has been almost 3 years, and it's been quite a difficult 3 years. I will tell you the truth. Financially, I always had abundance in my life. Since 14, I was working really, really hard, and I always had savings, and I was, every job I've ever, I can't even tell this story without yawning. Every job that I've ever gotten, I've always moved up in a few months to be the boss. And so I made a lot of money in my life, and I basically have been living a very scary life for the last 3 years, because one of my biggest fears in life is being homeless. That's one of my all-time biggest fears. And I'm not going to be able to do this podcast. I can't stop yawning. Please don't listen to this podcast. I mean, you're already listening. Fuck. But if I yawn one more time, I'm going to end it. Let me try to do deep breathing, because when you're yawning a lot, it means you're not getting enough oxygen. So I need to do some deep breathing. Anyway, I've been living paycheck to paycheck, but I don't get paychecks. So literally, I've been working for myself for the last 3 years. Maybe some of you guys know that I started an exotic tropical fruit company. It started out as a catering company, and now we sell exotic tropical fruit at farmers markets and deliver to people's houses. Currently, I'm on another hiatus because my business partner doesn't want to do it anymore. And this is the 4th or 5th business partner I've had in 3 years. Okay. And no, it's my 4th business partner, but I had 1 employee. And in 3 years. Okay, that's it. I gotta go to sleep, guys. I just yawned again. I can't do you like that. So I'm going to finish in the next episode. I did want to talk about something else, but I can't because I keep yawning. I love you. I appreciate you. Probably not the best podcast to listen to. So I hope this is not your first podcast of mine. If it is, I'm so sorry. I love you, boo. Talk to you soon. Bye. Sorry, I'm back because I realized I didn't get to finish what I wanted to say real quick, which was You'll suffer, meaning you'll be an addict in some way. You'll use food to numb the pain. You'll use cigarettes to numb the pain. Processed food, alcohol, sex. All the things, guys. Social media. All the things. Cutting. Exercise. You can over-abuse exercise. You can become addicted to and use anything to numb yourself to the pain of suffering from not going for what you're supposed to be going for. There's a reason why you were born. There's a reason, and you know the reason. And if you're not doing it, you're gonna suffer, boo. That's why you can't get off processed foods. That's why you can't stop binging and eating late at night. That's why you can't quit smoking. That's why you can't quit drinking. It has nothing to do with the food. It has nothing to do with the cigarettes. It has nothing to do with the alcohol. It has nothing to do with the sex, the porn, whatever you're using. It has to do with the thing that you are trying to avoid doing that you know you're supposed to be doing here on earth. I don't know how to communicate this any better than the way he said it. If you have a desire, a mission, or a purpose, and you say you want to do it, then guess what? The universe sends you energy. And if you don't follow through, that energy is taken and transmuted into suffering. You will be miserable, and you will be mean to yourself, and you will be self-sabotaging for the rest of your life. Do you want that? Because I don't think that's why you came here, boo. I think you deserve all the good and abundance in the universe. I think you're made of the same goddamn components as stars. Is the word components? I don't know. I gotta read more again to have a better vocabulary. There's like a great quote that I love so much, which is, there is no difference between a person who doesn't read and a person who can't read. So do me a favor. If you're gonna do anything after this podcast, which is gonna end in less than 10 seconds, read one page of a book that is gonna make you better. Read one page of a self-development, positive book today. Just one. Because I used to be such a reader and I fell out of the habit. I used to read 10 pages a day, no matter what. I'm going to do that right now. I love you. Good night.